2019 Grand Finals for CrossFire. It's day number 3, and it means one thing, and that's some great matches today with 2 semi-finals and the final later on. I am Lethal and joined by ZZXQ. How are you doing, my man?
Doing fantastic. Looking forward to 2 incredible semi-finals here. We've got 4 incredible teams narrowed it down, and it's just looking like 2 impressive matches up.
Yeah, it should be really, really good. Like, can't wait for especially this next one coming up. But before we do start the semi-final match, we want to talk about the results from yesterday. Now, the group stage results were revised, and it was a 5-way tie with 5 teams going 4 and 3. But in the end, it was AEG who actually got the 2nd seed going into this tournament and actually coming out with the 2nd place finish. But that's from the WCG committee. And we just want to apologize for any confusion or convenience caused. But if you do want more information, make sure you go to the WCG official website to find out more. But now back into our first semi-final match, which will be Super Valiant versus Pacific Macta, and it's going to be a great one.
It definitely will be. I mean, both of these teams have had a lot of back and forth in their history, but now they find a chance to meet again. And really, I think it's just a chance for Pacific to really show people what they're made of. I mean, this is a team in the past. They've been a very strong team. They've had several top 4s in their past. But just taking a quick look here at the standings, you guys can see how the group sort of panned out here. Very close. A lot of unexpected matches coming out of that group stage. But at the end of the day, we did end up with these 4 teams when it was all said and done. But 4 very strong teams coming out of this one. Golden 5 sneaking in at seemingly the last minute. At the first day, I think we could have probably guessed that Super Valiant, All Gamers, and Pacific would have made it through. But Golden 5, an impressive last day to put themselves into the playoffs as well.
It's unbelievable, a 5-way tie in an 8-team round robin. I don't even remember the last time I've actually seen anything like that. But going into the bracket, as you can see there, Super Valiant will be facing against Pacific Macta. That will be up next. And then afterwards, which will be the 2nd semi-final, All Gamers versus Golden 5. And then the final 2 teams from those 2 matches will play against each other, and we'll find out a winner. And there will be a 3rd place match for the 2 losing teams of both these matches. But either way, it doesn't matter if it's 2 semi-finals, the 3rd place, or the grand final going into CrossFire. We can expect some amazing matches going into this.
We definitely can, and looking at these 2 teams walk out, they've had quite the history going up against each other, but actually an important note here is the last Summer Invitational that happened, Pacific was actually the champions of it, so 4 out of the 5 of that roster is here and potentially able to try and do it again here, but SV, they looked so strong in the group stage. They're definitely looking like the team to beat in this event here now.
Yeah, Pacific Macta, me personally, I underestimated them just a little bit because I wasn't really too sure what was going to come out from them. But when we saw them for that great 3-1 start as we went into the 5th round of the group stages, we felt like there could be something special here. And we even casted one of their matches, and it was a lot closer than we expected.
Yeah, it definitely was. They showed an impressive performance. I think, for me, Revenge really stood out as one of those key players, always grabbing those entry frags for his team on the Ankara match we were able to witness earlier on in the group stage. But still, you got to wonder, when you look at this roster of SV, how he's going to really stack up against this lineup here. I mean, WCG was such a monster in the group stages, putting up tons of frags, but N9 always there to be sort of the anchor for his team as well.
Yeah, WCG did so well yesterday. Like, you know, you're talking about in the first half, one of the matches, it was like 14 frags, like just in the first half alone, which was unbelievable stuff. And N9, like you mentioned before, he's got that high level of consistency, which he hasn't really gone away. He's been there from the day dot. And Emzin really done some damage with the snipe as well. But looking at Pacific Macta side, you see like players like Matt Zero also did really well.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's sort of the wild card here that they may not expect on the side of SV. He's the newcomer to the team. He wasn't there in the Summer Invitational last time around, so I think it's really up to him to be one of those key players who can step up and make the impact here that they need to potentially pull off this big win and find themselves in the grand finals.
Who do you expect to see from Pacific Macta? Because there is some players in there, like, you know, anyone could pop up at any time, but I think Revenge has been the most consistent out of them all so far from what we've seen.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a key player. We saw in their match on Ankara, he was able to shut down Emzin, and that's going to be a key factor going into a map like Black Widow, where we know Emzin, he's going to bring out that AWM, try and make some work of the mid-range picks, and we'll see if he can make it happen. But right now, we're going to hop right into the action here. Map number 1 going to be Black Widow to kick it off. Super Valiant on the Blacklist side. It's going to be Pacific on the Global Risk side defending to kick things off.
Okay, get things started here, as so far SV just pushing very slowly here. And so far now, they are looking on Cat to see what they can do here. And now ZYK just pushing through, been a little bit aggressive here, but he's just trying to find out any information he can. 2 members already been taken down. 3 down for SV already. And now it's a 4v1 situation with WQ being taken down in a very quick round for Pacific Macta.
Great entry fragging coming out from Revenge. They're 2 very crucial picks to get this one started, and that's the momentum that Pacific was looking for to kick off this best-of-3 series when you have so many rounds to go head-to-head, and you really want to have that nice footing to start things off. Right now, though, they're going to be going for an A-long control play as well, and SV falling into a bit uncomfortable of a situation here. They have no map control just yet, but Pacific doing a great job of working the overall map in their favor.
Yeah, you saw Revenge has been very patient in mid to try and see what he can find, but 18 seeing what he can find there through mid, but there was 1 member there around mid just to see if he can actually try and poke things out. But so far, Matt Zero is just waiting to see what he can do here, to see if there's any info from that box room. But as you can see, Super Valiant, they're all waiting to make that first push, but 18 is going to push through straight away. Could cause a distraction, but managed to get 1 trade anyway. And now this way is going to happen. 3 members, 4 members pushing through that box room. 2 have already been taken down, and now it's 4v3 in favor of SV.
Going to be a tough retake here for Pacific. They're already trying to rotate in. ZYK a little overzealous there on the door peek. Not going to be able to make anything happen just yet. ZYK coming into the support position as well. But Revenge, will he go for the peek here from the B window? He's got to know someone's nearby, but he's not going to make it happen. WQ goes for the aggressive play, takes him out nice and early. 2-on-4 situation now, not looking too likely. It's going to get shut down completely, and it's going to be a nice post-plant hold there to tie things up.
Yeah, that was a shame. A lot of the players on Pacific Max had just lost those aim duels. There was so many players on Super Valiant Week, but sadly just could not take any of them down now. As Revenge just, look at mid to see what he can find, but ZDD's pushed very far ahead here. He's trying to get in a barricade, but he's going to pull back now to ramp to see what he can find. And now N9 being very patient. Same with Emzin as well, but it looks like we're going to have a slow start again.
This time around, it's going to be Emzin looking for that sniper pick in mid. The first couple rounds, he decided to hold on to the AK, but now he's ready to go for the challenge here on Revenge. But so far, Revenge hasn't had too much luck since the opening round there. It's going to be some slow play coming out from him. Meanwhile, we do see SV going for the rotation slowly over towards the B bomb side here. Looking for a bit of mid control first. It's going to be 18 trying to creep his way up, but 3 players stacked on the edge of catwalk here. 18 has no idea. They're starting to push out here. Aldrin looking for that information, but SV still playing this one pretty patient.
Yeah, you can see Revenge is looking mid to tell the other 3 guys on cap where they actually can be and when to actually peek out. But I feel like Revenge isn't really too sure. He has seen at least 1 down mid, but I don't think it's worth him pushing out just yet. But N9 is literally just round the corner. Aldrin's just going to peek now, but N9 managed to get 1. Managed to get 2 on the board, and then managed to get another trade-off from there. So it's now only 2 members left for Pacific Macta. They've got mid control, but they've got to be careful here with that crossfire, as N9 managed to get another one, and only Revenge left standing here, as Emzin is literally right next to him, and he's going to get taken down. But what can Revenge do here? It's going to be a 1v2 situation.
Nice patience play there from Revenge. Gets the opening pick to start off this 1v3. 2 players remain, 18 and Anka trying to catch him off guard. Revenge gets spotted from under cat. 18 now just has to hold his positioning here. Revenge tries to get the counter pick. Not going to happen just yet. It's just stuck on the back of ramp. The bomb actually sneaks its way over to the B bomb side as well. Gets planted here. It's going to be a tough retake. 18 just holding, playing for time here, toying with him, trying to keep him stuck here on the back of A ramp, and it's working quite well so far. Only 24 seconds on the clock. Revenge has to go in, but it's not going to happen. 18 takes him down, and it's another one on the board for SV.
He literally did his job there. All we needed to do really was just waste enough time so that he wouldn't be able to get the defuse if there's 1 member waiting for the bomb. But in the end, he actually managed to trade with him anyway, so he even did better than we expected here. As we see now, they're going to try and do the push round A long again, but ZDD is waiting for him. He's just double checking to make sure no one's actually crept round through the smoke, which isn't the case. And Revenge now just waiting back to see what he can find on water, but so far, no sign of anyone yet.
Right now, it looks like Pacific, they're going to be playing this one a bit more passive. Not going to go for that aggressive pick in mid anymore. SV did a great job in that previous round of abusing that aggressive push out of Cat, so now they're going to have to sort of back up, play a little bit safer this time around. SV, though, taking their time as well, looking for a potential pick over towards the B bomb site. Pacific, once again, holding on to that A-long control, not giving it up too easily to SV. It seems like SV still just wants to try and creep their way up mid and B and potentially work a pick here. Madzera going to be holding the B water bridge, waiting for someone to potentially peek.
Yeah, they're playing very patient here. Both these teams have very similar styles in terms of how they want to execute the site here, but Emzin just throw a nade across to see if he can find anything there, but nothing as of yet. But so far he's going to jump through Cat, risking the fact that, remember, last time Pacific Macta had 3 members in cap, but now this time around, no one's there, and sadly, Mzin. But these guys are going to push through cap, but you can see if he can actually find anyone as Aldrin is waiting on ramp to see if it can catch him off guard. But looks like the patience will pay off if he manages to take him down, but Mzin looks now, and Aldrin tries to find out, but Mzin is just trying to duck from the ground, managed to take him down anyway, and that's their opportunity to try and push it aside.
Now Mzin looks for the second, can't connect the shots there onto ZYK, looking for the follow-up with the pistol, still can't find a way into it. Matzera picks up one, but the rest of SV is slowly collapsing now over towards the B bomb site. It's going to be a 3-on-2 now. ZYK and ZDD have to try and rotate in. ZYK finds a nice headshot there onto 18, but it's a 2v2, and the bomb is quickly going down on the B bomb site. ZYK, ZDD both slowly rotating in. ZYK going for the peek from window, but it's going to be ZDD with a nice shot there to take him out, but WQ can't manage to get it done in time, and it's going to be a nice 2-on-2 there, going the way of Pacific Macta.
I'm very surprised there. The 2 members of Super Valiant were in a very good spot, especially with WQ in that box room as well, but sadly the case, he just got out-aimed there in that one situation, the 1v1, but all he had to do is waste time, you know, wait for him to fake that defuse to see if they can actually do anything. But look at this now, ZDD's pushing straight through. He's been very aggressive here to catch at least some of the members off guard, but did some damage to 18, but it just wasn't enough. And sadly for him, he will get taken down early on.
Sid looks for the follow-up. He's going to find it as well, taking down Aldrin. A nice early 5-on-3 advantage now for SV. ZYK, though, aggressively pushes through the mid doors, finds the trade onto Mzin, but still 18 works his way up cat with Anka, finds 2 kills for his team. It's going to be Pacific left in a 1v4. Not looking too good here for Matzera, trying to find his way out of this one. Doesn't look too likely at this point.
Yeah, 1v4 and the bomb down, not going to happen, but it doesn't matter anyway. Matzera got taken down quite easily there, and that was a very, very quick round, just due to the fact that, don't get me wrong, I can understand they pushed for him to try and catch him off guard, but they were ready for it. They're ready for him to push through. And that's the thing with Super Valiant, is the fact that they're kind of prepared for any of those small little rushes here. But speaking of rushes now, they're going straight through B to try and get that box room control as soon as possible. And as they're pushing in now, Matzera is there. Revenge is waiting for it, but Matzera managed to get 1, managed to get 2 in the end. And we'll see if we can get that 3rd, which he doesn't, but finally gets traded out here, as there's 4 members of Pacific Macta just waiting for them to come down, and Mzin gets taken down with all of them taken down in the end. Very quick round again.
Very quick round indeed, and it seems to be the story of the team that aggresses first. Seems to be getting punished more often than not so far in this matchup, so we'll see if that changes the pace here for SV to maybe see if Pacific will push out once again in the mid. Seems to be the rounds they've been hanging on to here, so we'll see if they can keep that up. But right now, Pacific, they're in a good position here, 3-3, all tied up on their global risk half. That's exactly what you want here, as this map does tend to favor the blacklist side just slightly, so if they can take away this half, it's a huge momentum boost to start off this series here. But right now, Pacific, they're going to be playing passive once again, and a lot of their passive setups seem to be working out quite well for them so far.
As you can see, it's going to be still being quite patient. ZYK is just waiting there. 18. He's trying to creep on cat to see what he can find, but I think he feels like there is someone there, but it's just a matter of time whether if ZYK actually makes a mistake. But so far, both teams haven't really got too much information. They may realise that there is on cat. Revenge managed to maybe push him back just that little bit, but they're going to know from that nade.
Definitely going to give it away there with the pop flash as well. Still no execution, just slowly trying to fake their way onto this A and slowly rotate their players over towards this B-bomb side execution. 18, though, still going to be lurking on the catwalk position. SV, though, ready to execute outside of B-long. Anka, though, looking for a potential mid-pick, but Aldrin is in such a sneaky position here, just playing on the back of ramp. Revenge looking for the opening pick as well. Mzin challenges, but neither player will connect here. It's going to be a rotation now. Aldrin still patiently sitting behind the mid doors, but SV, they're ready to strike on the B-bomb site now.
Yeah, that hitbox was so tiny for Revenge, sorry, for Mzin, when Revenge was trying to find out what was going on there. But now they gave some kind of control from Cat, they may assume they're there, but it doesn't matter anyway. Is Aldrin managed to take 18 down, and this is the opportunity to try and push through, but with Matzera gets taken down as well, so it's going to be a 44 situation. They're all going to try and come in, and then Nine is just waiting for this opportunity to try and bait out anything from that right side, and it seems like they're just being so patient. They're disciplined now, just waiting for it to come on site. It's so huge, but will he be able to get that frag? No, he doesn't in the end, as Revenge managed to get another one. But look at this, Anka managed to get one, Mzin managed to get one for his own as well, and now it's a 3v2 situation in favour of Super Valiant.
Revenge now looking for some sort of opening for Pacific to find their way back into this bomb site, but right now it's not looking too positive here. Mzin just holding the safe angle here, playing the clock, 30 seconds to retake. And Pacific has to make their move quickly here. Both players going to be pushing in through the double doors. Revenge looking for the opening here. Emzin so patient though, holding the off angle, takes down one, finds the other with his pistol, and that's going to be a beautiful round going the way of SV.
That was such a shame. The timing of that snipe, literally Emzin poked out the exact same time he was looking at the site. So unlucky, but it's just one of those things, I'm afraid. You hate to see it happen, but look at this, so this is another quick push from SV. They're trying to get that A-long control as quick as they can and maybe try and push through ramp, but it looks like they've been held back a little bit from utility, so things have calmed down slightly. But only one problem for Pacific Macta is the fact that Aldrin has been taken down and SV do have that slight advantage.
And now for the first time, the A-long control doesn't go the favor of Pacific, so SV, they have a chance to exploit that and potentially execute late here onto the A-bomb site. Matt Zera, though, already creeping up here into the B box room, potentially to try and peek out and see if they're outside of B here. Right now, Revenge, though, looking for the counter pick A-long. Not going to find anything just yet, even though SV does have a player or two sneaking over into the barracks here for the late A execution. Right now, though, SV just taking their time. They know they have the numbers advantage to work with. They're not going to try and screw this one up too easily.
Yeah, I felt like at the start of it, SV was just trying to fake a rotation in some way, but might have been a little bit too early on as Pacific Macta have gone to their normal setup now, so we have to see what they can find. But Revenge has got a little bit of a feeling, assuming that they might come from A ramp again, but it won't be the case, as you can see from there. ZDD is literally just on the other side of 18. How much patience do they have? There's still a minute on the clock, so they've still got plenty of time to make that execute.
18 looking for the mid pick here. It's going to be a quick duel in mid. He finds the opening shot there as well. It's going to be a nice one on to ZDD, making it a 5-on-3 SV. Huge advantage now for the A execution. They just have to pull through and hope that the defense isn't able to hold. Anka, though, caught on the flank, finds ZYK, looking to follow through for the kill here. Going to be, actually ZYK gets it with just 6 HP. He's still looking for more here. N9 trying to follow up and get the trade, but it's not going to happen. The flashbang comes through. Ooh. He gets the one dig, falling off as well as Matt Zera finds a frag as well. This is quickly turning into a winnable round now for Pacific. 3v5, down to a 3-on-2 now in Pacific's favor. N9 just on a sliver of health as well. Emzin, the last hope to really find the opening pick here on this execution. With only 15 seconds though, they have to move quickly.
Yeah, there's no messing around here. Commonly, it's gone from a 3v5 into a 3v2 now as SV really let this round go. And Pacific Macta may have to let them plant that bomb, but Revenge is now going to find that, but they're all above him here. But just needs to be careful, just needs to be patient, wait for the rest of his teammates to rotate round, and then use that opportunity to try and get behind him, as Revenge is slowly but surely getting rounds. But now Emzin is expecting it a little bit, but gets caught off guard in the end, and N9's the last man left standing with barely any health left, but he's sitting in a perfect position now. But how long is he going to last? As Matt Zera and Revenge will eventually find him, and there's only 15 seconds left on the clock. As Matt Zera finally finds him, and Revenge takes him down as the defuse is done and dusted.
What an insane round there from Pacific. I'm not sure how they were able to turn that one around, but still, they managed to make it a tie here with the last round now on the table. Anyone can take this half. 4-4. SV and Pacific neck and neck so far. Revenge looking for the opening here in the final round of the half and mid. Can't find anything just yet, but gets the cross pick. Nice shot there onto 18. And it's already a 5-on-4 advantage. N9, though, it's mistakenly peeked A-long. He was not ready for that one. ZYK takes him down. It's going to be a 5-on-3. Dabaku and Emzin trade back, though. It's already a 3v3. Anka looking for more, finds it. They're trying to turn this one around, but Matt Zera finally gets an answer here for Pacific. Make it a double kill, but the bomb is going down. It's down to a 1-on-2.
You've got to be really careful here. Emzin's the last man left standing. Both of them are underneath him, so he has some height advantage, but what can he do with it here? Does he just try and take out one? Just trying to stay alive, but doesn't matter anyway. He finally does get taken down. And another retake there from Pacific Macta. Quite interesting considering the circumstances at the start of that game.
Definitely a huge half there from Pacific, winning the global risk side on Black Widow, which doesn't normally seem to be the case, but still, that's a confident way to start off this series for them, looking strong against SV, who hasn't really been shaken too much just yet, but they're not looking too hot here to start off Black Widow.
Yeah, I think that one flank ZYK did earlier on their spawn, it was just completely unexpected. You can kind of tell with some of these teams, especially with SV, they do expect some early pushes, but when it's like at least halfway mark, maybe like a minute left into the game, they don't expect anyone to push around them like that. But ZYK, with his huge play there, and ever since they got that one round on the board, it gave them the momentum to get another one further. But how about it, though? Pacific Macta up 5-4, but we'll have to see how they do on the attacking side now. as the round has just begun, and we'll have to see what they can do, and SV can bring it back.
Starting off the round, Pacific already going for some control plays here over towards the B bomb site. Some nice counter utility coming out from SV to try and slow things down just a little bit. The Pacific, they seem eager to go through it anyways. They're going to try and storm their way through, but it's going to be a complete shutdown. 3 kills going the way of SV. Finally, ZYK gets the trade back, taking down Anka, but it's still going to be a 2v4 and no bomb plant in sight here.
Yeah, they're playing a bit patiently now. Sadly, they did get shut down, like you mentioned before, but barely just missed that snipe from Emzin. ZYK was very lucky to get away there, but he is going to pull back and see what else they can do here. Possible rotation is likely, but we'll have to see what will happen, as ZYK may wait just for that little bit to find out if anyone does push that box room. But speaking of pushing, 18 now, trying and get one of his own, but does get taken down quite comfortably there. And WQ is tempted to go back to that box room to find out where they're going, but he's just going to sit patiently.
I would say SV has the advantage here, but after seeing what ZYK did in that opening half, there's always the hope here with the way he's hitting shots so far today. ZDD and ZYK looking to re-execute here on this B bomb site. They do need to be careful, though. WQ still holding the off angle, the B windows here. See if they're prepared for his positioning here. ZDD goes for the pre-fire, still misses. WQ takes him down with a nice headshot. ZYK left alone, but it's not going to be enough. A nice 2v1 there. That's going to be another round on the board for SV. They tie it up 5-5.
Yeah, that's unbelievable stuff. They waited patiently enough to waste enough push round B. It was a good idea in the end, but there was aim battles, man. With SV managed to take him out no problem in the 1v2. It was something that shouldn't really happen, but it's just one of those things, I'm afraid. And we'll have to see what they can do here, as they've thrown a little bit of utility to A side just to kind of throw him off a little bit, just to distract him in some ways. But we'll see what they'll do here.
Right now, they have to be careful, though. N9 always pushing up on that catwalk position. They could just run right into him here. They're going to send 3 players back into mid late after that A fake came out early on in the round, but still, the SV with 3 players ready to attack onto this catwalk position. N9, though, the key player here to try and hold things out. He's actually rotating off, though. This could be a huge mistake. An error coming out from him in this round. 18, though, switches off to hold the positioning here. He has to try and get the entries, but they both seem a little bit too hyper-focused on this A-long push.
It seems like utility from earlier, which they wasted, was actually helping them, but they're pushing through Cat now, and as you can see, one would have been taken down. You've got a double there from N9, but a double from ZYK as well, and now it's a 3v2 situation, 3v1 now, as Anka is the last one left standing, and you've got 3K from ZYK already. He's been doing so much work this entire map.
Nice spot there, but Anka still gets the frag. Revenge, though, quickly there to trade. Just like that, Pacific there back on top, 6-5, still looking good, even in the second half here. But right now, I'm interested to see what SV might try and do to change things up. Emzin being sort of a silent factor here so far in the second half.
Yeah, it's very difficult to say. It just shows that distraction at the start on A-Long really helped him out, actually. It made both 18 and one of the other members of SV to actually push around to see exactly what was going on, to find out more information, but it seemed to do the damage which had been done. And now WQ just trying to see what he can find in mid. Nothing as of yet. Don't want to waste too much utility here. It's still quite early on in the round, but N9's already pushed quite far, and he's trying to hopefully take one of the members of Pacific Macta off guard at cap.
Right now, Pacific looking to wait for these smokes and then go for the late execution here for some mid-control. But ZDD, he's already ready to push up A-Long as well. Has the support of Revenge holding the off angle on A-Long. This could be a pretty solid split coming out here from Pacific, but they still need to be careful. There's a player lurking on the catwalk. And of course, it is going to be N9 holding the angle here. He's going to find the opening pick. It's actually 18 who finds it, but still ZYK gets 2 before finally going down. But WQ, what a way to trade things out. A huge double kill. Emzin finds one from A-Long as well, and now it's all on Revenge here, 1v2. Things not looking too good for Pacific now.
Now, that was shocking stuff there, but if there's one man alive, you've got to be careful with his Revenge. But as I say, that Anka managed to take him out quite comfortably in a position he did not expect, and gets taken down there, quite comfortable for SV. And now we'll have to see what they can do. It is tied 6-all now. And it's a close game, we expected from the start anyway, but we'll have to see if Pacific Macta can hold on that little bit more.
Now we see ZYK one of the head entry fraggers for his team going down very early on. Not a good sign for Pacific to start off this round. Emzin, though, confidently getting that opening pick. I'm not sure what ZYK was trying to do there. He's not normally a sniper, but he went for the mid pick anyways. Maybe he just had a good spawn for it. I'm not sure, but definitely looking like a mistake there to start off the round. But Revenge still looking for the counter pick to try and answer back. It's going to be SV playing this one very safe now that they know they have a nice advantage to work with, just sort of turtling up and waiting to see where Pacific might take this bomb.
Yeah, you've got one member already in box room, another on that B site there, but you've got another member of SV as well, just watching that bridge area just to see if anyone does push through the box room, but it isn't the case. But WQ managed to get that first one on the board. What a great shot from him. And we'll have to see what else he can do here. But Anka's playing patiently, he's not rotating, but he's going to possibly find one if Aldrin does push in here. He's tempted, he's waiting for that utility to come out. But he went for it a little bit too late. One gets taken down, and he's trying to finish the other one, which he does. Anka gets the last one with Emzin, complementing the last frag as well. Another comfortable round for SV here.
Yeah, things looking a little bit grim here now on the Blacklist side. Both Aldrin and ZDD yet to put up a frag on the board this half. They definitely need to pick up the pace here to match the sort of volume of kills that we've seen from ZYK throughout this matchup. They really want to have a chance here of taking down SV. Still 7-6. Anyone's game for the taking here, but Pacific, they're ready to try and execute essentially their whole team here over towards the A-long take. They're going to leave one lurk here over towards B-long, but it's going to have to be a solid execution here. SV has 3 players waiting and one quickly in mid to rotate if this A execution comes through.
Yeah, and WQ 8-1 so far, and he's going to try and add to that tally if he can. And he's still trying to push around, but he's just trying to be very cautious because he's already gone deep in. But as you can see, there's ZD, he's trying to take out one, which he does on Cat. And now this is an opportunity to try and get this round back as he's going to try and push in a little bit further now. And ZYK gets one of his own. Anka gets a nice nade off, and WQ's going to try and push in to try and catch him off guard on Cat. But it isn't going to happen. But now it's a 4v2 in favour of Pacific Macta to see what they can do. But now WQ managed to make things even worse with another 2 frags. And it's only Anka left standing as he's still trying to take him down, but it isn't to be, as that push from SV onto Cat was probably a little bit too deep, as when they tried to pull back, they already gave him that B site.
Yeah, SV just splitting up a little bit too much there for comfort. They were just caught off guard. N9 very slow on the flank as well, but now Pacific find themselves in a nice position. Revenge, though, beautiful opening pick, takes down Emzin from the B box room. That's going to be a nice way to start things off. No sniper now on the field for SV in this round, but WQ still alive. 10-2 his score this half. Still someone they have to look out for.
Yeah, it seems like so far not really too much info on that box room to long. Not really found anything yet, but definitely give SV an idea of what's going to happen. But look at this. N9 realizes that they didn't actually notice him last time push so deep into Cat, but he's going to try it again to see if he can try and fool anyone. But WQ is going back, but there's only one member, 2 including N9, but N9's already gone quite deep. So, but look at this now, utility is coming through. Pacific Macta are going to see what they can do here, and WQ is trying to keep him back as much as he can. It's been flashed off, but so has most of the members of Pacific Macta here. And look, he managed to get one in the end. And also N9 getting a couple for his own as well. There's only 2 members left standing here. Revenge and Matt Zero, but we'll see what he can do. Revenge is trying to pull back, isn't the case, and Matt Zero is the last one. They're standing with 2 more left. WQ is going to get the last one, and that's another round on the board for SV.
Very close back and forth here, but when it's all said and done, it is going to be 8-7 SV, a 1-round lead. Aldrin, though, still not on the board for Pacific. That's all they seem to need is just that little extra boost in Pacific. Be able to take a couple rounds here and tie this one back up. Right now, though, SV feeling comfortable and confident after that one. It's going to be WQ still sitting at 2 kills per round on the half, providing so much leverage for his team. N9 pushes up A long as well. It's the opening pick onto ZDD, already making this one a 5-on-4.
And the worst bit is he's got that barricade side, so he can keep him back from long all he wants, and with that crucial information which he can give to the rest of the squad. Pacific Macta, in terms of information, are not in a very good spot. They're going to expect this B push. Now they're giving him a little bit of control of box room here. We'll have to see what WQ can do. He's just trying to find out exactly whether they're going to push from bridge or see if there's anyone on that water ramp. But right now it looks like they're in a good spot, and WQ and one other member from SV are looking to sit in the same spot, which is going to be Anka. So if one does get taken down, they might get fooled by the trade.
Really good positioning set up here on the B bomb side. 3 players ready for the attack as well. 18 very close nearby here. The double doors, but right now Pacific, they need this round. Otherwise, it is going to be a map point opportunity on the table for SV. SV, though, still trying to get this opening pick, but Pacific, They're taking their time here in the box room, but they've been completely compromised. N9 so quick on the flank here. They have to be careful. They're already getting pinched from every angle on the map. They have to try and get this execution off quickly, or it could be a devastating round against them.
Yeah, I'm so surprised he got away with it. It must have come through mid because Revenge actually went down A long to make sure that no one else was there. He was actually doing the exact same thing. But look, as Revenge does finally find him, will he get taken down? He does get taken down after he got the first shot. So now there's only 2 members left standing for Pacific Macta. ZYK and Aldrin. Aldrin get taken down, and so does ZYK. That was such a shame. If Revenge managed to take him down like he should have done, that might have been a slightly different story. But N9 was very lucky with his life here to turn around and actually manage to take him out.
Now here we have it, just 1 round away from SV taking map number 1 in this best of 3 series. Pacific, though, 2 is all they need to tie it up here and take it into overtime. Still a task that could be handed to them if they play their cards right, but Aldrin and ZDD still not putting up a lot of firepower in this half. 1 frag each with 8 rounds into this one. It's just not looking too good for these 2 individuals, but we'll see if they can find a way to bring it back here for Pacific. But this is the issue we saw from Pacific in their previous matchups. This time around, they're almost nervous to go for any map control, just sitting in the back of mid, and now slowly funneling their way up towards the catwalk position. But it's an interesting gamble as well from SV. They actually have 4 players stacked up on the catwalk, and they've read this completely.
This could be looking pretty bad here, since it's potentially the last round for Pacific Macta if they lose this one. But WQ, the one person you don't want to come up against, is actually sitting there waiting for them. When one gets taken down, N9 gets... Let's get 2 there in the end, but now we have to see what they can do here. They're looking to push that mid spot, but Unk is just sitting there waiting for him to try and at least push through, but the damage has already been done. Macta and Revenge have already been taken down, and it's a 3v5. We'll have to see what else Pacific Macta have here.
SV, they have everything in the cards here to throw this one on the board for themselves and take a nice 1-0 lead in this series. We'll see if they can make it happen, though. ZYK finds a nice pick, takes down Emzen, makes it a 3-on-4. Potentially a winnable round here to try and bring this one back into overtime. Right now, ZYK trying to sneak up onto the catwalk as well, and it's SV actually rotating off here towards the B bomb site. WQ the only one to try and hold off the A execution here, and it's going to be a split coming out from Pacific Macta over towards the A bomb site. Now Aldrin, though, gets caught off guard. ZDD should be able to get the trade. It's a 2-on-3 now. A huge round up for grabs. Pacific, they have full control of the A bomb site, but now it's a 3-on-2 retake. Still the advantage of players in the hands of SV.
But look at this, so N9's at that window. Waiting for someone to see if anyone jumps through a window if once that bomb gets put down. But 18 has actually got a flank of his own here. Managed to take down 1 anyway by N9. That's CDD down, and that's all of them gets taken down. That's the map for SV. And what a shame, though. They were so close, Pacific Macta. There's a few rounds there which could have definitely gone either way. But SV just showing top quality stuff as always.
Definitely a big map from them. You've got to give them credit here. So smooth on their rotations, always throwing in these sort of curveball flanks to catch their opponents off guard. But at the same token, it's going to be kind of an underwhelming game from ZDD and Aldrin. 3 kills combined in that second half there. They sort of just fell off and weren't able to close it out. Looking at the first half scores from those 2 individuals, they looked very strong as a team. Pacific, they were fragging across the board. ZYK throughout that map, such a game changer for his team, but at the end of the day, they just couldn't close it out even when they had the lead there. And it's now going to be going to Port to potentially close out the series if SV can hold on to the momentum.
Yeah, there's a couple of wrong reads here and there. Don't get me wrong, ZYK did some great flanks, what we saw from a couple of rounds. Really put SV off guard. So there is some weaknesses there, which could have been exploited, but it's all too late now. That's the first map already done. And with the second map on the board, who do you think it maybe favours more? How do you feel SV could go into this map?
I think SV is going to be playing a lot more confident now, having that sort of buffer of a map under their belt in this series, so we may see some more aggressive plays coming out from them. But for Pacific, I think this is actually the better side for them to be starting off on. We saw on their global risk side, they had very smooth defenses, very clean rotations, and I think if they're going to bring it back, this is the way to start it here. The global risk side tends to be a bit more favored on Port as well, so if they can get a comfortable lead to go into that second half with, they may just be able to take this into a 3-map series. But still, with the way SV's been playing, especially the likes of WQ and N9, they've got to be careful not to make too many small mistakes.
Yeah, it's definitely should be a good one. I haven't caught at any Port all weekend, but fine.